Why would Heihachi have two pits?
Fatality.
Let me find my spot here. Don't look at my notes. All right.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Wake Up 3. We're at round 23, and we are your hosts, Molly
And Cam. And we are a fighting game podcast from a couple who loves fighting games.
Yes, and if you caught last week's episode, we are on to part 2 of the Animals of Tekken. Very excited to get into that juiciness. But of course, first we are starting things off with a mix-up. I'm sorry to report that if you don't like my mix-ups, sorry, I'm doing another one. I think this was my 3rd week in a row. Cam has done all of the intensive animal research once again, so we're getting deep. We've talked about getting deep on the podcast before. So today, I'm going to bring up a topic that I've seen discussed a little bit lately here in the FGC. It's a question that I don't think you should feel one way or another about whatever your answer is, but it's just something to make you think, I guess. So the question is, when you play fighting games, are you playing to play fighting games, or are you usually playing to win?
I feel like I'm usually playing to play because, I don't know, if I'm playing a fighting game, I normally want to sit down and play for like a long period of time. Like whether I'm winning or losing, I just want to sit down and play for like a couple hours straight.
Do you think there's any reason to you playing it that way, approaching it that way?
I think I don't know. I think it's easier to not get mad at, a game that way.
Okay.
Because like it should be fun. It's a game. It should be fun, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there are definitely times where you can forget that, but yeah, I feel like I try not to just sit down and play for like 15, 20 minutes if that's all I'm going to put into it, because I want to be able to like focus and I guess put the time in if I'm going to play a game. What about you? Is that how you play, or?
I kind of feel like the way that I had seen the question addressed was from the perspective that playing to win is looked down on. Playing to win is a problem. Especially for people that are just getting into fighting games. For me, I do feel like, if I'm being honest, I find myself ending up playing to win. But I do think it comes down to your own competitive nature. I think we're both competitive in video games for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe I'm a bit more when it comes to fighting games, because sometimes I feel like I get really into the winning part of fighting games.
Maybe.
But just something to think, something to dwell on. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed a change of pace for the mix-up. On to our week in fighting games. First off, the day that we released our episode last week, we immediately got to see Victor.
Yeah, that's right. Tekken 8's Victor is coming when the game comes out.
There's a trailer.
There's a trailer. Check it out.
Were you underwhelmed?
I was, because I was really hoping for something else, honestly. I had heard Secret Agent, CQC, and I think I was hoping Metal Gear Solid style, like gunplay, knife play, and just general hand-to-hand combat. And that is kind of what it is to an extent, but there's a lot more like cybernetic sword play than I was expecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think I was kind of just hoping for like a snake character. And
Whoops.
we got a Raiden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he's an old guy and he wears a suit. Some people seem to like it, some people don't seem to like it. But I think overall people seem pretty high for this character. I agree, I felt underwhelmed. I think I expected something more than what he is. I don't know what that says. Maybe he'll still be cool, but I do really like his stage and little song that goes with it.
Oh yeah, his
I
stage
thought
was
that
fun.
cool.
That was a cool stage.
But I think all their stages so far have been really cool for Tekken 8. So
Yeah, there's a lot of great looking
nothing
stages.
new there. And aside from that, we have just been plugging away at the final chunk of Season 1 of Combat League of MK1. How's
Yeah.
it going for you?
Pretty great. I think I'm pretty much retired at this point. There's, 2 days left? I think 2 days.
It'll be over when this is out.
Yep, that is right.
So-
And 2 days as of recording right now. But I just reached God rank, and I'm pretty happy with that. I never reached God in MK11, so I feel pretty good about reaching it in Season 1 of MK1. What about you? Did you want to share where you got, or are you still kind of trying to get somewhere?
I mean, I really don't think I'll make it to another rank, but I did get to demigod. Put in a little bit of effort towards the end. I'm planning on doing more next season for sure. But I think early on in the season I was inconsistent, so I am planning to keep track in Season 2. Well, A, play more consistently, and B, keep track of all the characters that I run into and who I win and lose against, just for fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then you'll be able to
So-
see who you need to train against more as well.
Yeah, so
So-
stay tuned for Season 2 stats in the future.
I think it'll be easier to play more in Season 2 because it took you a long time to settle on a character in Season 1.
That's all for our week in fighting games, and with that we are going to get into part 2 of the Animals of Tekken.
Yeah, we left off with Ling Xiaoyu and Panda parting because Ling Xiaoyu had to go find Jin on her own, and Panda says to her as they embrace, "We'll always be best friends." This week, we're going to start with Tekken 5, but I'm going to jump into Kuma. Kuma 2, as we like to call him around here. I know I said I was going to refer to him as just Kuma from now on, but I feel like Kuma 2 is too much fun to just drop. Loyal pet of Heihachi, Kuma finally accomplished his goal of defeating Paul in the 4th King of the Iron Fist tournament. However, Kuma's happiness was brought to an abrupt end with the supposed death of his master Heihachi. Kuma doesn't really believe it. He won't believe it till he sees it. You know what I mean? Kuma was lost without his master, but knew that he had to lead the Mishima Zaibatsu business. Because as you'll remember, he got the business after Tekken 4, after winning the tournament. But when he arrives at the business HQ, he finds that it's already been taken over by someone else, Jin Kazama. And this is why he doesn't like Jin.
Okay.
He didn't mind Jin before. Now he doesn't like him because Jin took over his business. What's that all about? That was supposed to be his business. He was going to try his paw at business. Getting worked up over Panda, or over, I'm getting worked up over Kuma. From there, Kuma once again retreats into the mountains to train. He's going to challenge Jin as soon as he can, most likely at the 5th King of the Iron Fist tournament.
So not off to an ideal start for Kuma 2 and Tekken 5.
Not great. He had it all, and then he didn't really get a chance to enjoy any of it.
It sucks.
So he goes to the 5th tournament with the goal of getting to Jin and defeating him in mind. But he ends up losing to Paul Phoenix in some of the earlier rounds, so he doesn't even make it to the Jin Kazama fight.
Damn it, Paul.
I know, right? It's always Paul. What's the deal? His ending actually shows Heihachi in his office, because Heihachi didn't die there. If you've played any later Tekken games, you'll know that Heihachi was still alive all the way through Tekken 7. But, yeah, he comes back in Tekken 5 towards the end, and he has a meeting with Kuma in the office. But Kuma does not really trust his intentions. He comes in and he's kind of acting shady, like, "Thank you for taking care of the business for me while I was gone," and things like that, which that doesn't really sound right, you know what I mean? Sounds like he's using Kuma, and Kuma's intelligent, so he catches on to that. So as Heihachi walks up to him to meet at the desk, there's a little desk in the room and Kuma's sitting at it. He presses a red button on the desk, and then Heihachi falls through the floor. It's a secret trap door.
So this must be new, right? Because Heihachi probably wouldn't step there if he knew Kuma could use.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it would have been something new.
How so? So did Kuma have access to the business for a bit?
He had it for a bit.
Okay.
He had it for a bit.
So
and then
Tekken 5 doesn't start like right after.
I think it starts like a year later.
Okay.
But it
So-
doesn't give. It
So
doesn't
he's
fill
made
in,
some changes.
Yeah, and it doesn't fill
to
in
the
all the
office.
gaps. But he did add a secret trap door.
Okay.
There were
I'd
two-
say, yeah, top of the list. As soon as you get in that office, you're like, the room's good, the vibe's good, the desk is good. I just need a red button that will drop somebody into the floor.
Did I tell you there were 2 buttons on the desk?
No.
Well, there's also a big blue button. There's a big red button and a
I
big blue
somehow
button.
knew it would be blue.
Even
What does
though-
it do? Are you going to tell me?
Yeah, what I'm gonna tell you is Heihachi didn't end up falling all the way down. He caught himself and starts climbing up. And when Kuma isn't paying attention because he thought the coast was clear, he actually looks over to Lee Xiaolan because Lee is there. Lee works for Kuma at this time,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome.
That's, if you noticed last week in our thumbnail, it was all animals except for one person on there a couple times, which was Lee.
Yeah, Lee Xiaolan, employee of Kuma. He's actually there in the room during this, and Kuma looks at Lee when Heihachi is falling down the pit, and Lee just gives him a thumbs up. I love that. Heihachi is climbing back up, and he presses the blue button, and it makes it so Kuma and his chair and the fish that he was about to eat in celebration all fall down a pit of their own. There were 2 pits.
Wait, what? Hold on. What
Yeah.
kind of addition is this?
I know, it's
Did
a
these
crazy
buttons
addition.
always exist?
I can't imagine they would have. Why would Heihachi have 2 pits?
2 pits. Who would have thought?
Who would've thought there
One
were 2
blue.
pits? Yeah.
Seems like it would be a good thing, like a nice thing, a tranquil experience.
I guess not.
Well, the double button trapdoor is the design choice I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, and it turns out it wasn't a great idea because it backfired on him, and Heihachi got the business back.
And did Lee Xiaolan think that was excellent?
He actually does just look over at Heihachi and give another thumbs up.
Wow, so he's just like ready for whatever.
Yeah, he's just working there.
Yeah,
It's just
a job.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah, it's just a job. It doesn't matter. He's like, excellent! Thumbs up. Every time someone falls down a pit, the other people in the room always just look at Lee, and he gives the same reaction, just, excellent.
Oh, this happens a lot with these buttons?
It'll happen again.
Okay. All right.
I'll say that. So with that, Heihachi gets the business back. Short-lived.
Despite falling into a trap, don't contracts still stand?
Heihachi probably just wrote some new contracts up and signed them while Kuma was down in the pit.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long it takes to get out of the pit or where it goes.
Well, poor Kuma. He deserved better.
I know, right?
Where was Jin in all of this?
Oh, Jin was off doing something completely unrelated
Okay.
at this time. I think he left the tournament early so he could deal with drama of some kind.
Oh. Okay.
Jinpachi.
Oh.
With that, we're going to go on to Panda. That's it for Kuma right now.
Okay.
He just ends in a pit.
Oh, shoot.
It's a bummer, right?
Yeah. It's
That's...
not looking so great for Kuma.
No, hopefully he fares better in Tekken 6. Panda. Ling Xiaoyu has been depressed ever since the end of Tekken 4. Panda hates seeing her like that and searches for Jin on her own, to no avail. One day, Xiaoyu asks Panda to accompany her to the 5th tournament, and Panda, being the best friend that she is, happily agrees. Of course, I'll accompany you there. I'm going to cover her ending now, and it's non-canon, but I just want to cover it because it's fun. In this, Panda fights, and she wins the tournament. Panda is now the head of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Lee comes to Panda, telling that Kuma would like to see her. Bring him here, Panda says. At her command, he agrees and allows Kuma to enter the office. He proceeds to walk towards her with his arms open, preparing to hug Panda. He's also holding another bouquet of flowers. Panda puts her arms up as if she's going to hug him back, but instead she presses the big red button on the desk. And Kuma falls into the floor, screaming. Lee gives another thumbs up.
Oh, poor Kuma.
I know, he falls down the pit twice. This one isn't canon, but still. He falls down the pit twice. Well, that's not the end of Panda's ending, actually.
Okay.
Shortly after that, Ling Xiaoyu comes in, greeting Panda excitedly and asking Panda how she's been. She approaches the desk and then sees the big blue button and wonders what it does.
Oh no.
Panda tries to shake her head as a warning not to do it, but Ling Xiaoyu's curiosity gets the better of her. She presses the button. The floor opens up and Panda falls into the hole, screaming. Ling is now confused as to what happened because she doesn't see Panda anywhere and the floor has closed back up. And Lee just looks at her and gives another excellent thumbs up.
Oh my god, Lee.
So that's the end for Panda in Tekken 5.
Okay.
These ones are kind of just like silly and fun, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of trapdoors.
Yes.
But now we're actually going to get something kind of fun here. Something brand new. We're going to talk about Roger Jr. It's been a minute since I've introduced a new Tekken animal to you. Roger Jr. is the son of the original Roger, obviously. He is still a young kangaroo. He fights from inside his mother's pouch, and he and his mother both wear boxing gloves. So there are 4 boxing gloves on screen. He doesn't have a nickname that I could find, but he does have likes and dislikes. He likes his father, Roger, sometimes, and his mama, all the time. And he dislikes lies.
Oh. Uh-oh, did Roger Sr. lie?
He may have. And then we're going to talk about Roger's wife, as she's referred to on the Tekken Wikipedia.
Okay.
I put that in air quotes. Also known as Roger's ex-wife and Mama.
Okay.
And then I thought this was fun. In Japanese versions of the game, she is actually referred to as Roger Mama, which I love. So I kind of want to refer to as Roger Mama from now on. She likes her son, Roger Jr. And she dislikes Mokujin, the wooden man. Her ex-husband lies and cheating.
Oh.
A picture is starting to form.
Oh. Roger Sr., what the fuck?
I know, right? Roger Jr. bio.
Yeah. See you, Mom.
Yeah.
Your list was intense. We gotta take a break.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. I just wanted to include both of them because it's a 2-part character. So now you know all of the fighting kangaroos. After the disappearance of his father, Roger Jr. decides to enter the 5th tournament, hoping it would provide some sort of insight to his father's whereabouts. He's hoping he can use the prize money to, I guess, just figure out where his dad is.
Why does he want to know?
Because his father has just kind of disappeared. He seems to have been taken away. He's not sure if he's been taken back to a lab or what's going on.
Okay. Pause for just a moment because I have a question.
Okay.
Roger Sr. is a product of Kazuya.
Yes.
So, did Roger Sr. meet his wife in the lab? Is she also a product of it? Because why are they all boxers?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
It doesn't say. It just
Did Roger get all of these other kangaroos into boxing?
It just says. Well, I know that at some point there's an ending for Roger where it shows him just running along with a bunch of other kangaroos, but he's just jumping really far and faster than them, and he's still wearing his boxing gloves. I don't know if he just like integrated boxing and sports into the world of kangaroos, but that's kind of what it seems like. I think he met his wife in the wild between Tekken 2 and
in the what?
5, I guess.
So she's not from the lab. They didn't meet in the lab. He
Right.
just got her into boxing.
I
and
think
she-
so. And it doesn't say how Roger Jr. convinces his mother to go along with this plan of, hey, let's enter the tournament and find Dad.
Okay.
But he tucks himself away in her pouch, and they prepare to fight together.
Wow.
She doesn't necessarily care about boxing,
Mm-hmm.
so this is all for her son Roger,
How's
who she loves. And I wanted to share Roger Jr.'s ending, because I think it's fun. I mean, I guess fun is relative. Roger Jr. finds his father in a defunct lab, but discovers that Roger has been spending his time lounging on a sofa and watching cartoons, apparently unconcerned about his family or responsibilities. Roger Jr. is shocked and kind of pissed off to see his dad like this, just relaxing, while his mother and him have been worried this whole time. So when Roger approaches his son, Roger Jr. uppercuts him through the roof of the building. And then the scene ends with Roger Jr. stomping on a photo of himself and his father.
Wow, okay.
So maybe not fun. Maybe fun's the wrong word to use.
Maybe. Maybe.
This will be fun.
So this game is pretty intense for Roger Jr.
It kind of is, and it's his first appearance.
Yeah. Well, obviously he has some of his dad's experimental DNA because he's able to uppercut him through the roof as a baby.
Yeah, he uppercuts him through the roof, which
Yeah.
I thought was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Wow. Okay, Roger Jr.
That's all the animals for Tekken 5. So with that, let's jump to Tekken 6. Kuma 2 again. I love starting with Kuma 2. What's the smile?
I'm just worried after Tekken 5 for Kuma.
Oh my goodness, you should be. So it turns out his Tekken 5 ending was just a silly non-canon thing. And he's still trying to get his business back from Jin. So the Heihachi thing never really happened. That was just a fun, let's drop each other through a trapdoor thing. There was a lot of that in that game. So he's still trying to get his business back from Jin. Kuma has trained all this time, and now he's set out to Mishima HQ. But Jin is waiting for him. Jin unleashes a pummeling on Kuma, and then drops Kuma from a helicopter into the plains of Hokkaido. You're just shaking your head. Despite the beating and the fall, Kuma survives and is more determined than ever to beat Jin's ass and take his business back. Any thoughts on that?
I hate Jin.
Yeah, right?
He's on my dislikes as well.
Dropped Kuma out of a helicopter?
Yeah.
So, Kuma has tied Jin and Kazuya up, I guess. Just tied them up. And
Okay.
they are out
Good.
in space, flying through space in a rocket ship.
Okay. A turn I didn't expect, but good.
Pretty wild.
Sounds like you're doing well, Kuma, too.
Yeah, so he's got them captured, and he's got them out there in a rocket ship. He throws Jin out of the rocket first, and then Kazuya. As they drift towards Earth, Kuma starts to cheer while moving his hands up and down, and unknowingly puts a hole in his spacesuit with one of his paws, causing him to fly into space along Kazuya and Jin. The trio catch on fire as the impact of gravity plunges them into Earth, while they turn into shooting stars. Ganryu is then seen watching them and making a wish, most likely something to do with Julia Chang.
What a weirdo. All right, well, clearly not a canon ending.
No, not a canon ending. Let's talk about Panda. So her tournament results for Tekken 5 weren't really discussed, or weren't really gone over. I don't think they were important. Her ending was non-canon in the last game. And nothing really happened in the main story for her. Panda's ending in Tekken 6 starts out with Lily and Asuka arguing and starting to actually kind of fist fight each other outside of the Mishima High School. Love to talk about Mishima High School. Ling Xiaoyu and Panda are rushing towards them, and Ling Xiaoyu remarks that she's going to be late for class. Panda panics.
Oh, no.
And starts running even faster and just smashes right into Lily and Asuka, knocking them both to the ground. Lily and Asuka start chasing after Panda and Ling Xiaoyu, and that is how it ends. The four of them just running to class, I guess.
Wow.
Yep.
That's fun.
She just knocks them down. It's just a silly thing. And depending on which of the four characters you play as through the arcade, you will actually get that scene just expanded on up in a different way, which I think is kind of fun. So you'll get it from like Asuka's point of view, or you'll get it from Lily's point of view. Kind of neat.
That is cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that's just something else. But yeah, you get to see Panda rush through. She panics and she just knocks them over, just bowls them over. Roger Jr.'s back, second game in a row. And he and his mother could not believe that Roger had been living easy with no concern for them at all. Roger Mama decides to divorce Roger.
Fair.
Roger Jr. and Roger Mama join the 6th tournament in search of victory and financial security, because at this point they have to support themselves. And for his ending, Roger is teaching Roger Jr. boxing moves and bonding with his son when all of a sudden Roger's wife comes in, confronting Roger with a picture of him surrounded by other female kangaroos.
Wow.
As a result, I know, right? Who are these lady kangaroos that I've got pictures of you with? Yeah, these photos of lady kangaroos. As a result, she uppercuts him through the roof. So that's the second time in 2 games that Roger Sr. has been punched through a roof.
So she's really strong too.
She seems
Is this just normal kangaroo strength to be able to punch another kangaroo through a roof?
I think kangaroos are just freakishly strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's it for that. It's not really about Roger Jr., honestly. It's just about Roger Mama and Roger.
That's interesting. Very different from
Yeah.
his last ending, but the same outcome.
Yeah, same outcome. That one was a little bit shorter. I feel like that must have been the final straw and like the final, yep, here's the divorce. I'm punching you through the roof. And let's jump into Tekken Tag 2. Tag 2 is another non-canon entry into the series, so these are just little fun endings. Okay, so I'm going to start with Kuma first, because I'd love to start with Kuma. Kuma is visiting Mishima High School in hopes of finding Panda, of course, because he'll never give up on his love, you know? And during this, he's just kind of waiting around outside, and 3 high school girls, 2 of them are wearing Mishima High uniforms, are having a picture taken with him because they think he's some kind of school mascot. So they're just kind of hugging him and they're doing different poses, and he's just eating it up. He's like, hey, cool, this is fun. I don't really get it, but it's cool. I dig it. I got like 3 people taking a picture with me.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so it's fun. And then he spots Ling Xiaoyu, Miharu, Elisa, and Panda. Kuma starts drooling when he sees them, just, I guess, because bears drool a lot. But the drool falls on one of the girls, and she freaks out a little bit because she realizes, oh my gosh, he's a real bear. So all 3 of the girls run away scared, and then Kuma runs over to Panda. He's so excited to see her, but she immediately knocks him out with an uppercut.
Wow.
A lot of uppercuts.
Very direct this time.
Yeah, she just punches him down. And the girls just casually walk away from there. And not too long after that, a man wearing a panda costume walks over to check if Kuma is okay. Kuma thinks he is Panda and just gets hard eyes and just kind of like jumps towards the man, and the screen goes black. The man in the panda outfit was there because the mascot for Mishima High School is a panda.
Well, all right. I guess that's expected.
Yeah, so you don't really, it's a non-canon silly ending, and you don't get to see what happens once he jumps towards the man, but you can assume it's nothing great. Panda's ending on a roller coaster. Panda is seated with Elisa behind Ling Xiaoyu and Miharu. She growls at Miharu out of jealousy. When the roller coaster train speeds up, Panda raises her arms. Then on a teacup ride, Panda attempts to get a seat with Ling Xiaoyu, but again has to sit with Elisa and feels rejected. She just wants to sit with her best friend. She's feeling Kind of sad. Later on, the three girls have some ice cream, and Panda begins to feel even more isolated, thinking back on the time she spent with Ling Xiaoyu. When the dream ends, Miharu offers Panda some water, which she jumps and drinks happily, and then just jumps into Ling Xiaoyu's arms. From there, Xiaoyu wonders if she should have given Panda more attention. That's it. She's just like jealous.
I feel like she's just clingy to
Clingy.
Ling Xiaoyu. Like, Ling Xiaoyu is her person. That's her best friend.
Yeah.
Or supposed to be. So, yeah, I feel like she's got that, like, teenage, like, jealousy. She's my best friend.
Yeah, that's true. Even
Like,
though
is
she's
she
a big
your
old...
best friend?
Yeah, even though she's a huge
Miharu?
bear. Yeah, Miharu, you new girl. There is one more line to this ending, and it's actually Elisa suggesting that the group all go to a sauna.
Weird suggestion for a metal person.
I know, right? Do you want to just jump into Roger Jr. for tag 2?
Let's do that. Let's get away from these swappable eyeballs.
Let's do that. So, Roger, once again, I feel like these endings are always about Roger, even though it says it's Roger Jr.
He takes up a lot of space.
He does. Roger comes home with flowers, but before going inside, he peeks in and sees his wife, son, and Alex, the dinosaur, eating breakfast. Roger sees how much happier everyone was without him, and then he remembers both times that he was uppercut through a ceiling by his wife and son. He punches himself in the head for being so selfish and for not being there for him, for them. All of a sudden, Alex bursts through the front door, and it slams Roger behind it, kind of cartoon style, like boing, flattening him. His wife comes out and looks to see Alex playing with Roger Jr. out in a field. She looks down and sees the flowers and the note from Roger. She reads it and eagerly looks around for him, thinking, oh, Roger's come back. Roger's come to visit. I guess she was kind of looking forward to seeing him. Roger is still smashed behind the door, however, and that's it. Alex is just there because he's a friend. He's just a playful friend.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't expect any ill intentions from Alex. Well, interesting that Roger's wife was
right?
kind of curious to see him.
I mean, it's non-canon, so
I guess so, yeah.
there's that.
Give the people a little hope on the side.
I think it was just more about showing off all of the animals.
Gotcha. See what they're up to.
Yeah. Alex gets his own ending as well, because in this game, since he only has 2 boxing gloves and Roger Jr. has 4, they have different movesets. So they actually take up a different space. In the old games, Alex and Roger was just one space, and depending on what button you pressed, that's what character you got. A lost Roger Jr. looks around for his mother in the middle of the desert. He imagines her loving face, but he feels so sad that he can't find her. He's just a Joey. He continues to hop forward warily. Meanwhile, Alex lurks behind a nearby rock, stalking the isolated kangaroo. Alex springs out to attack Roger Jr. from behind. Roger Jr., however, is not taken by surprise and gives Alex an intense beatdown. Afterwards, Roger Jr. can be seen riding on Alex's shoulders as they continue to search for his mother. Eventually, they all meet up. They find her. Ecstatic, Roger Jr. jumps up in the air, and Alex also raises his arms in accomplishment. The screen shows a vignette that happens around Alex's face while he kind of shrugs, as if he's questioning, how did I end up in this weird situation?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever mentioned this before, but Roger's DNA, the reason, or the way he was cloned, he's actually part DNA that was taken from like an old crystallized mosquito or whatever, like they do in Jurassic Park.
This is Roger? You said Roger.
Oh, this is Alex. This is okay. Alex. So Alex, his DNA is from like an old Jurassic Park style mosquito where they take the dinosaur DNA out. And then also it's part kangaroo DNA to fill in the gaps. So he's got part kangaroo DNA.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why? Can he jump?
I guess so, yeah. But I think he could jump anyways. He's a velociraptor.
Yeah, I guess. Huh. Okay.
So I think he was just trying.
Kazuya's doing next level stuff in the lab.
Yeah. So I think Alex was just playing. He loves to play. So I think he was just creeping up on him like, I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a playful guy.
He's part kangaroo.
Yeah.
It's like they're meant to be.
I don't even know if he knows it.
He doesn't, but he feels it, I'm sure.
He feels it. And with that, those are all non-canon endings, of course. But we're now at Tekken 7, the final of the Tekken games that we can actually talk about fully. Would you like to start with Kuma 2 again?
Always.
Always. I love to start with Kuma 2.
I need to start with Kuma 2.
How could I not?
You're legally bound to start with Kuma 2.
I'll start with Kuma 2 until there's a Kuma 3.
Whoa.
Kuma 2 is working as a Tekken Force officer at the start of Tekken 7. We talked about that.
We did.
What is a Tekken Force officer? Well, I looked it up. What is Tekken Force? It's a private corporate army funded by the Mishima Zaibatsu. Heihachi created it between Tekken 2 and 3. So I guess kind of makes sense as to why Kuma would be working for it. He's loyal to the Mishima blood. So he's a Tekken Force officer. Right in the beginning of Tekken 7. Kuma is working in the Philippines, bringing supplies to those that were affected by a hurricane.
Oh, humanitarian Kuma.
Yeah, so he's just delivering crates of supplies and giving disaster relief. And on the side, he's also trying to do recruitment for the Tekken Force.
Oh.
Because why not, right? The final test in order to get into the Tekken Force is actually to defeat Kuma. Which I think is kind of funny because, like, not everything you do is fighting. Sometimes it's humanitarian stuff.
Right.
But he's like, hey, do you want to be a humanitarian like me? All right, you have to defeat me. But you're a bear.
That's the requirement.
That is the requirement. The final test is to defeat Kuma. One girl, Josie Rizal, makes it all the way to the final test. Not knowing that she's going to have to fight a bear.
Okay.
But once she gets there, she sees Kuma and she just bursts into tears at the sight of the large bear. Kuma feels really bad about this, but attacks her anyways to complete his assignment.
Yeah, Kuma.
Pretty great, right? He's like, this crying girl, this is who I have to fight? All right. For his ending, he defeats Josie Rizal in combat, and she is knocked unconscious. Kuma was impressed by her fighting abilities, and he kind of wanted to enlist her as part of the Tekken Force.
Don't lie, Kuma, too. You don't have to lie.
He thought, well, she was actually pretty good, but I am a world-renowned tournament-winning bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think he just felt bad.
he might have, but it says he was impressed with her fighting abilities, and he did want to enlist her as part of the Tekken Force. Maybe he would have given her a little more training. But when he wakes Josie up to, I guess, tell her the good news, she freaks out, and she's like, oh no, don't eat me, don't eat me. And Kuma kind of roars in his little bear voice, why would I eat you? But it just sounds like roars. And most people can understand him, but she cannot understand him. So she just thinks that she's being roared at, like right in her face, because she's laying on the ground at this point. And she passes out again. Kuma's kind of confused at this point, and he changes his mind and decides not to wake her up. So, yeah. She fails his test, basically, at that point.
Okay.
I mean, she had already...
So she doesn't make it.
She doesn't make it. She had already failed, and then she's too afraid of him to even...
He was going to give her a second chance.
He was going to give her a second chance, and she can't even take the second chance because she's too afraid when she just sees him. So he's like,
I mean,
it's not worth the
to
trouble.
be fair, if you passed out after seeing a bear and then woke up to that bear in your face roaring and stuff...
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, she's like, don't eat me. And he's like, why would I eat you? But it just sounds like, rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, she's never communicated with a bear.
Right.
That's fair, I guess.
So, yeah, I guess that's fair. But
this is Kuma 2's story, though.
yes, that is Kuma 2's story. He's, at this point, just a Tekken Force officer, and that was his ending. So he's just doing recruitment for Tekken Force at this point.
Oh.
For Tekken 7.
So he took kind of a weird turn then.
Yeah, he kind of did, but 6 was way out there. It was him in a rocket just launching the Mishimas into space.
Okay, well, Kuma 2's been on like a weird track ever since he did really well and won, and then just like after that, things have just gone weird.
Things have gotten weird, and they just get weird every game, I guess. But yeah, at this point, he's a recruitment officer for Tekken Forces, and that's his ending.
All right.
Not a whole lot of a story for that, but we get to talk about Panda as well, the only other animal in Tekken 7. They went light on the animals in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Panda goes to the 7th tournament to support Ling Xiaoyu and spectate, not to fight. When she arrives to meet up with Ling Xiaoyu, however, she is ushered inside by event staff. She heads down a dark hallway that opens up into the arena grounds. This is unexpected. She was not there to fight. A rude man with a bizarre hairstyle is waiting at the end of the tunnel. Seems to be her opponent. She's pissed because she didn't really want to fight, but this rude man with weird hair is, I guess, talking down to her, like, I'm going to destroy you, things like that. This man is Paul Phoenix, by the way.
Okay.
You could probably
He was
guess.
one of 3 of my guesses.
Who are the other weird people with weird hair? Rude men with weird hair.
Heihachi.
Okay.
Kazuya.
Okay.
Those were
Gotcha. I think
but
they're...
yeah, Paul was like, it's probably Paul.
I think-
It's probably Paul. He's pretty rude. He's been rude.
I think the Mishima hair is considered normal in the Tekken world.
Even Heihachi's though.
I'm just going to say it is because no one's ever said anything weird about it. So I'm assuming that in the world of Tekken, like in everyday regular human would see that and just think, yeah, that's normal. But I don't think they would think that about Paul's weird hair.
Yeah.
It's like a big old pencil.
Yeah. Okay, so Panda has to fight Paul.
She has to fight Paul,
That
and she's
sucks.
I know, right? And she's pissed because she wasn't even there to fight. She got misled into the arena, and now she has to fight Paul Phoenix. But since she's so mad and worked up, and she just wants to meet up with Ling Xiaoyu and find out how she did in her fight, she flies into a fury and beats Paul Phoenix's ass. Then she gets caught up in the moment and celebrates her tournament win a little bit. Does some kind of like rah-rah kind of cheerleader style stuff. Loses one of her bracelets without knowing it.
Okay.
It doesn't ever say what happened to that bracelet. So I wonder if that's something that we'll see in 8.
Oh my god. I hope so.
I know, right? Like the lost bracelet.
Kuma's gonna find it.
Maybe.
And find out that she beat Paul.
Yeah. That'd be
And think
sweet.
she's like super cool again. Be like, I have to find her and like admire her.
Yeah, maybe. I
And
don't
then
know.
he finds out. He's like, I have to give this back to her. She's missing it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just manifesting for Tekken 8.
We'll see. But yeah, it does say that she lost a bracelet, and it didn't say anything about the relevance of that. So I guess we'll see in the future, or maybe we won't.
What if Kuma 2 finds it, but at this point he's been rejected by Panda so many times
He just eats it.
that I was gonna say he just keeps it like and carries it around with him like a creep, you know?
Oh man,
Like a little
I hope
prized
not.
possession.
I don't think he would do that.
Like it's one of those like bags that you can wear around your neck like a necklace that's clear.
Okay.
Just slip
Like
the
you turned it into a
bracelet
jewel?
in it. No, just like a weird like because it's protected. He doesn't want it to get
I don't
lost.
like this version of Kuma.
yeah, I don't.
Creep Kuma.
Yeah, see, this is why I'm just speculating because this doesn't sound like something Kuma should do.
No, it doesn't. All right.
But would he?
Would he? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe.
Has his path been so weird for so long that he would now do this?
Maybe we'll see in Tekken 8.
I hope we don't see that. But I do hope we see him give her the bracelet.
Yeah, she doesn't notice that her bracelet fell off at some point, but She does remember, oh yeah, I'm not here for this. This is just a byproduct of me being here, I guess. So, sure, I'm a tournament champion, but I need to find Ling Xiaoyu. She starts just sniffing about and finds the scent of Ling. She can just lock right onto it because they're BFFs, friends forever. And she just starts sprinting, just a mad sprint, to get to her as fast as she can. And she just bowls over the top of Paul Phoenix's body that's still laying on the ground. Just thrashes him one more time on the way
Hell
out.
yeah.
And that's it.
Good. Very good.
So Paul Phoenix in Tekken 7 finally got a beating, and it was from Panda.
All right.
I mean, I guess he got a beating in Tekken 4 as well.
Oh, he did.
Kuma. With that is all of Tekken 7. I do have a little bit about Tekken 8. I've got some bios taken directly from the Tekken website. Starting with Kuma 2, of course.
Once more.
Once more, let's start. One final time for now. Let's start with Kuma 2. Kuma is Heihachi Mishima's pet and a member of Mishima Zaibatsu's special force, Tekken Force. He never misses the chance to volunteer in disaster relief efforts all across Southeast Asia. Locals are always reluctant to accept Kuma at first, fearing that he might attack them, but with his playful nature and strong work ethic, Kuma gradually wins them over and becomes the town favorite. However, one fateful day, Heihachi left to settle the score with Kazuya Mishima, only to never be seen again. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the end of Tekken 7, but Heihachi got his ass beat and he got dropped into a volcano. Spoilers for that, I guess. Back to Kuma, though. Kuma believes his master is still somewhere out there, but waits for his return to no avail. Meanwhile, G-Corp, that's Kazuya's corporation, is gaining the upper hand with their attacks against the Mishima Zaibatsu. Kuma bolts to the Mishima Zaibatsu building to provide backup, but upon arriving, he realizes his chance to combat G-Corp is long gone. The Mishima Zaibatsu leadership has surrendered, unable to wait any longer for Kuma. If Kuma lets the Zaibatsu be dismantled, then his master will have nowhere to come back to. And as Heihachi's loyal pet, that is one thing he cannot abide by. This is a quote from Kuma. "I will continue fighting until Master Heihachi returns, even if it means I'm the last one standing." In the spirit of Heihachi, Kuma trains to perfect his Mishima-style techniques. He dons the outfit and belt his master once wore in one of the older tournaments. Then begins his lonely fight. Several months pass, and Kuma, who has rescued Mishima Heavy Industries' elite engineers from the clutches of G-Corp, has begun development on a secret weapon that is sure to change the game. And then in my notes, I put salmon rocket.
Yeah, what is this?
We don't know for sure if it's a salmon rocket, but
He does have one. So
he saved the scientists, and he's like, "Hey, scientists, I got an idea.
been cooking this one for a while, so let's get it right.
I need you to make me a salmon rocket." I'm looking forward to finding out what happens with Kuma in his story. I like his little outfit.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, the red headband and the Heihachi shirt, I guess. That being said, let's jump into Panda for Tekken 8, the only other animal that we know of so far. From the official website, Panda doubles as both Ling Xiaoyu's pet and bodyguard a short while after Jin Kazama, whom Xiaoyu has feelings for, I guess, she never lost those feelings, goes missing. She sets off on her journey to find him, leaving her home only to never return again. Determined to uphold her duty of protecting Xiaoyu, Panda tracks her all the way to the Mishima Zaibatsu building. When she finds her, Xiaoyu informs her that she successfully obtained Jin's search data and is going on a journey across the globe to follow after him. So Xiaoyu is going deep with this love that she has for Jin, I guess. Shocked, as she is, by Xiaoyu's tenacity, Panda decides nevertheless to set off with her. After all, Xiaoyu deserves a vacation where she can enjoy all the sights and delicious cuisine the world has to offer. On their journey, Panda makes sure Ling Xiaoyu is always looking her best by coordinating her outfits so that whenever she finally meets Jin again, she won't be embarrassed. After 6 months of traveling around the world and tracking down what few leads they have, any hope of finding Jin is fading fast. Even so, just as Xiao Yu refuses to give up out of her unwavering dedication to Jin, so too is Panda resolute in staying by Xiao Yu's side until the very end.
I love that Panda's in for the ride to just like style her friends.
Yeah.
Make sure she's looking good in case she runs into her man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she styles
What
all
a
of her
friend.
She styles all of her outfits, and Panda actually has a brand new outfit in this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's styling, and it turns out she designed it herself. So,
oh, okay.
in
So
addition to what was her hobby
Gardening?
before? Gardening, yeah.
like flower bed maintenance.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, she's picked up sewing.
Yeah, so she's all into design work now for outfits, making her own and making Ling Xiaoyu's outfits. She seems to do pretty well at it.
Aw, I hope to see lots of Panda outfits in Tekken 8.
It seems like we're going to get quite a few. I'm excited. Maybe we'll just be bear mains in Tekken 8.
Maybe we will.
Kuma
Is
and
that so?
Panda
It
mains.
doesn't sound so bad, right?
Is that so bad?
Is it so wrong to be Batman?
I don't think so. I love bears. So yeah, Kuma 8. Or Jesus. Kuma 8. Oh my god.
Step
Whoa.
into the future for a minute.
Yeah, let's go to the year 2100. Kuma 8. He's a cyborg like Jack. So yeah, Tekken 8, Kuma 2, and Panda. I'm pretty excited about the bears returning. There's always been at least one bear in every single Tekken. So to not have them would feel weird.
Yeah, they're kind of like the heart.
Yeah, they're the
and
heart.
soul.
Yeah, I think so. For the most part, they're always just beloved or like lighthearted, non-canon stories most of the time. They're just really fun characters. I like them, and I think I have a newfound appreciation for them after this research.
I would agree.
Oh, special mentions. There are 2 other animals I didn't talk about because they're not playable, but Sugar and Salt. Leroy's dog, Sugar, and Salt, Lily's cat. I wanted to mention them because they are, once again, animals of Tekken, and I think it's fun to see pets
Yeah,
with the fighters. I think that's cool.
that is cool. And Salt is new to
Yeah.
Lily's character as of Tekken 8.
Yeah, that is brand new for Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Sugar was with Leroy in Tekken 7, so he's been around for 2 games now.
So there's Sugar, there's Salt, a dog, a cat, but there's also one other Tekken pet. Unconventional,
Yeah.
like a bear.
It is a tiger. Another pet. It's Kazumi's pet tiger.
Yes. Of course,
And-
Heihachi would be with a lady that also had a wild pet.
Do you think he trained the tiger for his wife, or do you think that...
I think
She trained
Kazumi
it.
came with the tiger. I feel
You
like
think
that's
so?
her thing. But I don't know.
The tiger is obviously not playable, but it is in Kazumi's moveset. You can use it as a projectile. It'll come out and just spin around in a ball and smash into the other person.
Yeah, it kind of like
Before.
bounces off, pushes off of your opponent.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
I think with that's all of the extras.
I think so.
Extras, I say extras, but the tiger is a big part of.
So is the
You get
cat.
to use it in gameplay.
You could use the dog in Leroy's gameplay. You can crouch down and he says, "Go, Sugar," and then Sugar runs out and it'll
What does the
trip.
cat do though?
I don't know if a cat does anything.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Do you think Salt will do anything in
I hope so.
Tekken 8
I hope so.
aside from be on the windscreen?
Probably like trip you during the rage art.
Yeah,
Classic
probably just
cat
walk
stuff.
in front of your legs
Yeah.
and trip you.
Yeah,
Yep.
probably. Sounds like a cat. But yeah, kind of cool that Tekken is getting into the bring your pet to work day kind of thing. I mean, I guess Heihachi started it first, but
True, exactly. Heihachi's got a pet bear.
And Ling
and
Xiaoyu
he'll
has a
train
pet bear.
more.
he'll probably train more bears. There are probably more bears out there that have already been trained and gifted by Heihachi. This new girl, his daughter, Reina, his supposed daughter that we're gonna...
What if she has a polar bear?
Yeah, what if she has a polar bear or...
Third bear for Tekken.
Yeah. I'm in. That'd be great. That'd be
More
sweet.
bears?
More bears for Tekken.
Or more boxing animals?
I did want to talk a little bit about the play styles of all these animals. And
Okay, yeah.
just like, I guess, which one of these characters should I play if I want to play a Tekken animal? Would they fit my playstyle? That sort of thing. So, are any of these right for me? Kuma 1, if you wanted to go back and play Tekken 1 and 2. And his fighting style actually just translates directly over to Kuma 2 and Panda as well, except for certain specials that they have from their respective masters that they've just kind of added from game to game. But all the bears are typically defensive, punishment-oriented characters because they're not very fast, they're very big, and if you whiff, you're gonna get punished for it because you're big and you're slow. They are pretty strong, but you have to pick your moments, you've got to play defensive. So if that sounds good to you, you might like a bear. Roger and Alex are strike and throw mix-up characters. So they do that commando wrestling style that I mentioned before. They do a mixture of kind of weird, confusing hits with their legs and their boxing gloves, and then grapple moves. Gun, I guess he would be someone you would want to play if you unlocked him in Tekken 3. You'd want to give him a shot because he's hard to unlock.
I guess.
Other than that, I don't think you'd really want to for the most part. Just to try him out. Roger Jr. He has the strike throw mix-up game as the other two do, but his are different because he's got the extra set of arms. That makes him sound like a freak. He's not Goro.
Goro's not a freak either.
Goro's not a freak. Yeah, my bad. Jeez. But Roger Jr. has confusing strikes and command throws, is how they describe it. Using 4 arms, 2 legs, and a tail that has unblockable sweeps. He has a lot of just confusing strikes where it's like, I don't know where to look exactly because you have so many limbs. 7 limbs that I have to worry about. Counting the tail. Not only that, he has a spring forward attack where he can be kind of anywhere on the screen. He can be full screen and he can just bound towards you from full screen.
Wow.
Because he's a kangaroo. And he's got a big old jump.
The words unblockable sweep. Woo. That is...
Yeah, jump it.
Those 2 words for...
Or parry.
Oh my god.
Jump or parry.
Sounds like a nightmare.
With that, I have a little bit of trivia just about Tekken animals in general. Just to wrap things up. Alex and Roger are the only characters whose faces are not shown on the character select screen. Because they share a slot, their boxing gloves are just shown crossing each other, so you just see their arms like that.
Oh.
You see a dinosaur arm and a kangaroo arm just on in one image, and that's it. Kind of interesting. Next up, in Tekken 6, Roger Jr. can be customized to resemble Alex in a robot suit. Or just kind of a robotic Alex, I guess. Later on, Alex returns in Tekken Tag 2, and he gets that outfit. So he gets the robot suit. In addition to this robot outfit that Alex gets in Tag 2, he also gets a white suit that resembles Kazuya Mishima's suit from Tekken 6. So just imagine a velociraptor in a white suit. Kuma does not speak at all, instead communicating through growls and roars. Despite this, most other characters can understand him.
That's one of those things that you like.
I love that. Yeah, I love when they just don't bother explaining who can understand him and who can't. It's just fun. Kuma understands both English and German, and I would assume Japanese, right?
Kuma 1 did.
Yeah, and I would assume Kuma 2 does too, because he's with Heihachi.
I would assume so
Living in
too.
Japan. After performing Kuma's rage art in Tekken 7, the salmon that he hits you with like a baseball bat will actually remain on the stage for the rest of the round and just flop about.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I. I've never noticed that before.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool piece of trivia, and now I want to try it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, his salmon will just flop about on the stage for the rest of the round.
His what? Will do who?
Sheesh. Kuma makes a cameo in Tekken the Motion Picture, sitting in a tree. Tekken the Motion Picture is an anime movie from like
and
94.
Kuma's in a tree?
Yeah, he makes
okay.
it. He's just he's in it as a cameo, just sitting in a tree somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Cool.
In Tekken Blood Vengeance, which is a Netflix anime that came out, I think, last year or 2 years ago. A picture of Kuma is seen in the principal's office at Mishima High School. I'm not sure why the principal has a picture of Kuma in his office.
The principal's probably like, man, I miss when this guy was the leader of the Mishima company because it was so fun when he would come to the school.
Yeah, it was sweet. All the students love this giant bear.
Yeah, they
he
think
rules.
he's a mascot and stuff. And it's great.
Yeah.
I would have a framed photograph of Kuma too in my office.
Why don't we do that now? Let's put one in here.
Yeah.
Another Kuma fact, or trivia piece. Kuma makes a cameo appearance in Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory and its remake. And in that series, Kuma is voiced by series producer Katsuhiro Harada.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so Harada
cool.
voices Kuma in this. I don't know if it's an anime or what.
So this is fairly recently that he did this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of cool.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
cool. I want to hear that.
I know, right? I want to look that up. Tekken 8 trivia here about Panda. Unlike all of the other characters that were revealed, Panda was revealed as a playable character with the unveiling of a large statue at the Tokyo Game Show. She got revealed with a giant statue.
She deserves it.
It's super unique to give Panda of all characters a statue. It was like 9 feet tall. Like
Wow.
life-sized.
Wow. Where does it go now? Like, whose is it?
I think Harada just has it in his house.
Sweet.
I don't know. I'm just making that up. I don't know. Next fact about Gon, the lizard guest. He was the first ever licensed guest character for Tekken, followed by Akuma, Geese Howard, Noctis, and Negan. So there were a lot of games in between Gon and all of them, which all showed up in Tekken 7. Years
true.
and years. Pretty crazy. Gon's alternate costume in Tekken 3 shows him with a turtle shell on. He was wearing a turtle shell as a shirt and wearing blue boxing gloves.
What?
Yeah, that's his
Why?
alternate costume. Well, the turtle shell is a reference to the time when he decided to wear a shell that he found in the manga. And the manga is actually what he's originally from.
Oh, okay.
So he's from a manga series.
Okay.
And he finds a
then they
shell
made
and-
it into a platformer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he finds a shell, he wears it at some point, and that's his alternate. It didn't have boxing gloves. That is just a reference to the other animals that have boxing gloves in Tekken.
Gotcha.
They just wanted to give him gloves.
That's fun.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Character specific. If Roger Jr. loses to Devil Jin in Tekken 5 and 6, and Devil Jin uses a specific wind pose where he levitates the opponent and does kind of like a crushing motion where your character shows that they can't breathe, it'll show that Roger Jr. is choking as well. So it'll show both kangaroos unable to breathe.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Tragic, right?
Yeah, just further proof that Jin sucks ass.
Jin does suck. And if Roger Jr. loses to Asuka, Roger Jr. will still be seen moving his arms around while his mother is laying there because he's stuck in the pouch. So he'll just be...
Why just Asuka?
Because she walks up to them to like look at them, and you can
okay.
see the other character's body and her
Okay.
victory. So
Gotcha.
you'll be able to see him just kind of like whining and
Oh.
wiggling about like, get me out of here. That's the last fact that I have. With that, who's your favorite Tekken animal?
Can you guess?
Is it Kuma?
Yeah, it's Kuma.
Okay. I
Kuma
thought it was
too,
I thought it was
specifically.
okay. That makes
He
sense.
inspires me.
I thought it was gonna be Panda going into
I
all
do
of
love
this,
Panda.
even though she's kind of.
She's had her moments. I don't love her treatment of Kuma, but what can you can't make her feel
No, you can't.
that for him.
You can't.
And there's still time. They're very young. She's very young for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
And
He seems to have backed off a bit in the
Yeah.
last couple of games.
he's been doing his humanitarian stuff, going to disaster relief efforts for Tekken Force, and
Now he's
kind of
training.
just staying in his lane, it sounds like.
Yeah, seems
So
like
maybe
it.
it's time to find that bracelet and reconnect.
Yeah, maybe.
See how things are feeling now.
What's with the bracelet? I hope we find
Big
out.
question. But
Yeah.
Kuma too. He's
That makes
my
sense.
favorite.
I think he would be my favorite too. And I think
Okay.
other than that, I would probably go with Alex just because he seems
I do love
so
Alex.
fun. He's playful.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all he is. He's just playful. No dislikes. Would you be interested in any new Tekken animals?
It would be interesting, since we have Heihachi's assumed daughter coming to
Yeah,
Tekken 8
that's right.
soon as that last character.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting if Heihachi did train a third different bear.
Yeah.
Heck,
Or
it could even be a koala bear, like a smaller
a
type
small
of bear.
Sure, yeah.
Just, I think a third bear in Tekken, maybe it's
A
time.
koala bear is a projectile for her.
But
That'd be
yeah, maybe
crazy.
just a third bear. Could be a polar bear, like huge.
Okay, so
I guess not,
you think
like-
you would want it to be a bear then?
Yeah, that could be cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would be down for that. Why not have
I
three
feel like that
bears?
would fit for, if we were to get one in Tekken 8, I don't know. It would fit for this character
I think so, yeah.
coming from the Keeper of Bears.
I bet
himself.
Kuma would probably protect as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kuma's got his own thing going on.
Probably would. Yeah, he's kind of out of the personal protector commission. He's kind of just doing his own thing. But he still has ties, he's still
Yeah.
working for,
Definitely. He's still loyal
basically
to
working
Heihachi.
for the Mishimas, yeah.
Yeah. Are there any other animals you think you'd be interested in seeing? Like a giant raccoon or anything like that?
A giant one?
I don't
Sure.
know. Like a big, bear-sized raccoon?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
If you've got them.
Yeah. If there's any other any other Tekken animals that you would like to see, I guess let us know. I'd be interested in seeing new animals for Tekken. Why not?
That's all.
Yeah,
All of the animals for now.
had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys had fun with it too.
Make sure that when you pick up your copy of Tekken 8 in January, that you start off with Kuma too.
I know we will be. We'll be doing a Kuma 2 mirror match at midnight.
Yeah. So, be like us or be pretty lame.
Yeah.
Or be excellent if you're
I'm giving a thumbs
standing
up.
in the office as Lee.
I'm giving a thumbs up right now. I love
Lee
that.
just working for whoever is in the
Yeah.
building.
He's just kind of vibing there. He's wearing his fancy suit, just standing behind the desk waiting for whatever. I think he's an assistant.
Excellent. Does he say excellent?
I don't think he does.
Oh, he just says thumbs up.
He just does the thumbs up, yeah.
You probably like that even better. I'll either be a bear or Lee. We'll see.
No Lars?
Lars, he's always an
Lars is
option.
falling off.
He's an option, though.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know.
What
We'll
are
see.
you, 100% bear?
Am I going to be a bear?
Do you think you're 100% bear?
It's a weird question to ask. I'm mostly human. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sold on Kuma right now, especially with the new moves he's going to get in Tekken 8. He's going to have a lot more Mishima moves now that Heihachi is missing.
Missing. We know he's not really burned up in a volcano, right? There's no way.
It seemed like
He'll be dead.
It showed his body sinking into lava. Like they intentionally showed,
This
he was
man
being
has
destroyed.
trained bears to fight.
That's true. He's done some crazy shit.
And then
so
given them away.
there's probably a way to bring him back as a cyborg or something. Cyber Hachi. Maybe this will be the game for Jinpachi to shine as DLC.
That's a topic for another day because I need Jinpachi Mishima in the game. Good day, and we will see you next week. Hope you had a good first season of League, and see you for season 2.
Yeah, enjoy Omni-Man. And we'll be talking about that and
More.
A game that is completely new to Molly and a game that I have very little experience in. So
Yeah.
we're going to be playing that all week, and then we'll talk to you about it next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Wake Up 3. You can follow along on Twitter at Wakeupthreefgc or on YouTube and Spotify at Wakeup3. I'm your host Cam, and you can find me at Big Ruck Online on all social media.
And I'm your host, Molly, and you can find me on Twitter at Concut, that's KAHNKUT, or on PlayStation, that's Jan Michaels.
This is Wake Up 3 signing off.
Bye. Do her eyes see, or are they like cameras where someone else could see?
Her eyes are probably like swappable.
Okay. Anyways, weird suggestion.